Hello and welcome to the finals of the IFMAR Four-Wheel Drive World Championships, brought to you from the Hoodie Arena just behind me, and of course brought to you by Team Associated, J Comsets, A Main Hobbies, Tony Sport and Diff Check. Well, there's been a lot of racing, there's been a lot of qualifying, and it's all got a bit tense. So a very tense qualifying and a very exciting qualifying, and a qualifying dominated by two drivers. Firstly, Bruno Coelho, the hometown favourite, the Portuguese X-Ray driver. He was straight out the blocks with 2 round wins, but suddenly Dakota Fenn, the American running the prototype TLR, came back with 2 wins of his own, which meant it's all down to the final round on the morning of the finals. And in the end, it was Coelho who took that final round to put it on pole. And of course, next to him will be, of course, Dakota Fenn. Now, behind them, we had a huge battle between about 7 different drivers, including Michael Olowski with the Schumacher, Ryan Mayfield with his Yakomo, and of course Ty Tesman with the X-Ray, all of them battling for the sub position in what was an incredibly exciting, very, very tight final. And one of the most interesting things of all was people who didn't make it. Ryan Cavalier, 4-time world champion, only in the C. Davide Ungaro, runner-up, of course, just in the two-wheel drive, only in the B. So we have a really mixed up but very, very powerful grid. And let's see who's where as they start the four-wheel drive World Championships. So on pole, it's Bruno Coelho from Portugal, the man who won this event in 2015 in Japan with the X-Ray. Second on the grid, Dakota Fenn with a brand new prototype TLR. Dakota, of course, is from the US of A. In third place, and from Poland, it's Michael Olowski, who actually won the European Championship in 2015 when he was 15. He is with the Schumacher car. Fourth place, Daniel Kobovic, the young Norwegian, a member of the X-Ray team. And in fifth, David Ronnefelt, the double European champion at this particular discipline. He's from Sweden and also a world champion in a different discipline. In sixth, your reigning world champion, Ryan Mayfield from the States with the Yakomo. In seventh on the grid, it's Marco Barufalo from Italy, driving an X-Ray, and the 8th position is taken by our reigning two-wheel drive world champion Spencer Rivkin, starting way back but still with a chance. In 9th, Ty Tesman, who of course is a world champion at the nitro version of this radio control sport, and in the back with his orange wheels and from Japan with the Yakomo, it's Yasuki Segura. And they're away. There's a good start from everyone. It seems like the first 4 got away. So Coelho in the orange car with the white wheels leads, and it's the orange wheels of Fenn immediately on his tail as they go around the resin corner, and may even got a little sniff of him. So Olowski makes it a triumvirate at the top now as they look to pull away, and you can see slightly good little bad landings give you a couple of yards either way. Coelho now picking up about a lead of probably about 3-4 metres as he swaps round and looks to go round the A main section for the first time, but they are effectively in a train. Olowski holding on much better than he did in the warm-up final, but then suddenly lost as the power went down. Whoomp, just kind of lost the drive, and the gaps come out there. Mayfield running in 4th, Koldvik in 5th, Ronnefelt in 6th, but 1 and 2. A little bit of a gain there, a little bit of a break that Bruno's trying to make, but I think you'll find that Fenn is looking to keep him honest, and the top 2 run round onto the J Concepts quad again. Both cars looking equally quick. It's going to come down to errors. If Bruno can keep it absolutely nailed, it's going to be almost certainly his championship. But suddenly, Fenn looking a little bit quicker in the second lap, made up the space, but it is one of the racing cliches is actually true, which is probably why it's a cliche, and that is it's much, much easier to follow than to lead. And so already we see the Fenn in the red and the blue car right on the backside of the Portuguese with his orange and white machine. Now, don't forget, this is the 2015 world champion at this event. All up the inside goes Fenn. Has he got him? Looking for 2-corner pass. No. Over the Tony Sport triple, who certainly got the inside there. And as they switch through and round and back again, and more power onto the straight again. And they're on the outside, looking left, looking right. But Fenn trying to look away round Coelho, but at the moment Coelho's keeping the line, and Fenn knows he's got to get past cleanly or he'll get called by the refs. They've now broken Orlowski as Fenn again looks for an outside line there as he turned back into the Jeff Check double. Fenn now looking for perhaps a 3 or 4 corner pass. Inside, it's through, so Fenn gets through. Fenn goes past. Bruno just get the landing, but now he's got to try and pull him. This is where I think it gets difficult, because suddenly now Bruno's chasing him. Bruno can try and catch up. So Bruno now looks up the inside, hook slightly on the pipe as they go through the A-main corner, fire down the straight again, equal power into the first corner. We're 2 minutes and 15 seconds down of a 5-minute race. Now Bruno's looking to get up again, and Bruno looks the outside, he looks the inside line. It is so much easier to follow. A little mistake there, so there's some breathing room, just a couple of tenths. There's a quarter pipe there. Bruno just gives Fenn the chance to think about it as they now build up again through the quad, and certainly Fenn's had a good lap. He's managed to get 6-7 metres. In third is Orlowski, fourth is Mayfield, fifth is Kobovic, but it's really all about the first two in this first leg. And at the moment Bruno, and then you see there Dakota just touched the pipe and just lost a bit of momentum. So power down this way. You can see the dust flying off the wheels. And up the inside now, can Bruno get a 3-corner pass? Oh, he switches back and forward and round and back, and then he's on top of him. That's one way of trying to get past. So they've virtually had some sort of congress there, but it doesn't kind of affect anything. So we're going to keep out of the replays for a bit if we can, because we want to show the action. It's so close at the moment. So after sitting on Fenn just a couple of corners ago, he's now dropped back. So Bruno certainly lost a bit of momentum, and it's been a good lap despite them being right together. And Fenn's made a mistake, and Bruno's made a mistake, and now Orlowski coming back into play in third place. So both of them made a mistake at the same place. And now Fenn with a nice little lead. The lead was timed at 0.9 of a second last time round. Bruno seems to have got the car, seems to have got a bit edgy. He seems to be oversteering at the moment. Now Orlowski's coming into play in between second and third. So Bruno now has to worry about back as well as forward, and we're looking at Bruno as we see him struggling with 1 minute and 14 to go. He's going to have to start moving forward again. He's got to forget about Orlowski. It's not important. He's got to let Orlowski be third and now drive forward, because the fact is that Fenn is leading, and Fenn is leading by I think a bit more again. Yeah, Fenn's lead now is up to 1.3 seconds with a minute, so it's going to be 2 laps. They're just going to get 2. This is the penultimate lap, and Bruno needs to find some real pace after an action-packed race where they've overtaken her twice and sat on each other during the course of 5 minutes. Bruno now has the triple of the Tony Sport, but you can see now the gap is down a tiny bit, but not enough. And it's now a case where it looks like if Fenn can run clean, Fenn should make this first final. But it's a couple of ifs. They go across the line. Indeed, the gap stayed almost exactly the same. In fact, at the end of the lap, Fenn was 0.07 of a second faster over that penultimate lap. On the last lap now of leg 1 of the four-wheel drive A final, IFMAR World Championship here in Slovakia, brought to you by Team Associated, by A-Main Hobbies, by J-Cods, by Tony Sport, and by Jiftech. We're RC Racing TV, and we're about to see, I think, Dakota Fenn claim leg 1 here of the championship final. But it's very noticeable that suddenly Bruno's got much closer. It's a bit late as timing runs out. They will just finish the lap now. They come down the straight. It's going to be Fenn who's going to get it, and Fenn gets it for America and for TLR. 1 set down for Fenn and TLR. So that was an action-packed 5 minutes.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
I mean, at one point he was sitting on you.
Yeah, I was he made a little mistake there going over the quad, and I was able to get on the inside, and then he definitely turned up the pace and was right on me for a while, and then just made a small little mistakes and just stayed clean, was able to bring it home.
Well, 1 final down and 2 to go before we crown a new world champion. But we had the opportunity to sit down with 6 former world champions for a spot of breakfast here at the Hoodie Arena. We recorded a fantastic conversation with them all, and here's a very short snippet of what's coming up later on RC Racing TV. Well, hello and welcome to the Breakfast of Champions.
People want to beat you more because you're the top dog.
We're doing this for a living, and you can't make a living at this winning a world championship every 2 years.
For me, for example, the most emotion I had in my career is when David won the title in Vegas.
To get 2 in a row, 2 at the same event, I think is good. I think, somebody like Jared to win 2, 6 years apart at totally different facilities, in my opinion, is maybe a little more impressive.
The people that hate you and doesn't really.
If you have bad results sometimes, then you think, can I still do this? And I used to be a world champion. My dad always says you're always a world champion.
I started to think like, okay, there's no future for me here. So I said, I'm not going. And then he insisted and said, no, you must go there because we fight all our life to have this opportunity. And now we have it. And I said, yes, but imagine if I'm going there and I don't make nothing special, you know. I didn't trust on myself, you know.
Obviously, you know, every race I go to, I want to win, and that's what we work for. Me and Adrian.
You got beat today by a 33-year-old a couple times. So
I know.
do it to at least
I know.
then.
So at least
tell you that.
10 more years, then, right? Yeah.
So a brief snippet there, a fascinating conversation which has been on for over 40 minutes, and you can see the whole conversation, the whole video on RC Racing TV next week. So don't forget to press subscribe and hit the bell icon to be informed of exactly when we're going to be live on YouTube. And now back to the finals. European jumping there off, and it's a good start from the top three again. And a better start for Bruno, gets a bit of a gap, so 1, 2 and 3 away, which is Bruno in the orange car, the blue and the orange machine of, or red machine of Dakota Fend, and then the green and blue of Orlowski. All break again, 4th place stays Koppelvik, and then there's a kind of a scuffle behind him. So 1, 2 and 3 away as we move up and over the Tony Sport triple and turn back into the A main section for the first time. More of a train. Orlowski not been last time around. Orlowski kind of lost it at this point here. The power at the core. This time he's got the drive down, so not being dropped by the others. And in fact, Orlowski looking around the Fend, and then Bruno get away slightly. So Bruno's made a really good start. Fend now is having an advantage because, in fact, a very minor mistake by Orlowski dropped him slightly back into the clutch of Koppelvik, but we'll stick with Fend sort of the focus at the moment because he's either going to go forward or back. And I think now he's settling in. In fact, they've dropped Orlowski the top two. So Coelho leads. Just about the first minute done of this second leg of the A main final here at the four-wheel drive World Championships, and the gap, as you can see visually as they go around the A main section and power it back up again. It's like, oh, and I don't think Fenn got a brilliant drive that time. He had to scuffle it back a little bit, take the power off slightly, and the gap is 0.7 of a second for Bruno. But it is very much Bruno just needs to find that perfect run, get his name, think about doing touring cars, think about every single line the same. Ground speed wise, they're pretty similar. Dakota Fend still has the fastest lap of the entire event, but that was set a long time ago. As we're a minute and a half down, another lap in the books, and at the moment, still going okay for Bruno, but Bruno less than half the mistake ahead, and they have once again began to sort of break the rest of the team. And then if you look at Orlowski, he's crossing already something like 2 seconds back. So it is about these two drivers in leg two. And of course, if they finish first and second this way around, we'll be in the same position where at the two-wheel drive, where only two people can become world champion for leg three. Bruno over the J Concepts quad. Ooh, wow, whipped it there, did young Mr. Fenn, and got away with it. So it's the X-ray from the TLR. Coelho. Getting round and getting closer and closer. So Fenn now right on the tail of Bruno as they switch round and into the first of the district double. Now the J Concept. Can Fenn get a drive through there? And it's interesting that Bruno, looking now perhaps to get slightly more condensed on the rest of it, is just looking around. What can he do? I'm not sure. And he's driving it a little bit careful, a bit more slowly. But he's going to block the rain, and then the lap goes round. So that time round, they're now as close to you. But I don't really need to give you a lap time. About a tenth faster for Dakota. And they're right together, nailed together, with 2 minutes to go. Fenn now, can he make that final part? He got the inside. Fenn, oh, but he's kind of knocked Bruno off. And that is a massive moment for Fenn as he kind of got past. I'm not sure we'll have to watch that again later, but he got past, and somehow now Dakota Fenn looking like it's going to be we've got a massive tank slapper there, but even so the lead can have Coelho is going to be massive, and I can't see Coelho bringing back that 2 second lead. There's a minute and 33 to go, and it was kind of an all coming together, almighty on that thing. Very, very strange, but it looks like Fenn may become your world champion, what might be slightly, stick on Fenn. Fenn's rolled on the outside, and he had the world championship in his hand. He had won the championship, and it's gone, but it can still come back. He's a minute and 40 in this heat, and he has a whole nother run. Wow, what happened there? Suddenly, he must have relaxed and just relaxed off, and suddenly he's gone and lost those 2 second lead he had, and he's actually given himself a second pot deficit. So, Fend, I looked away, looked up, thought we missed someone. Well, we hadn't missed, because the car rolled out, and there was Bruno about to take the lead. Wow. So Bruno back in the lead again. It was an aggressive pass by Fend, and then he rolled it, and then he came back again. So kind of it's evened itself out. But they're now back together again, and they're about to start their last lap. So on the last lap of leg 2, can Fend make another pass on Coelho? Coelho must realise that Fend appears to have a bit more ground speed. He's got to hold him back for one more lap. How hard is Fend going to push this last lap of leg 2? How hard is he going to try and get past Coelho? Oh, he's lost a 2/10 there, or 3/10 there, just picking up a pipe. This is ultimate pressure, because Bruno knows he's got a faster car behind him. Can he hold him back over the J Concepts quad? This time, that was where the last pass took place. He's over the Tony Sport triples. Only a few corners to go, and this is a hard place to pass, unless Fend absolutely sends it. Fend now going through the A main hobby. Let's get to see where they go. Can he get it? No, he lost the driver. It's going to be Bruno. Bruno's going to take leg 2 in a controversial, then uncontroversial environment. Leg 2 goes to, wow, Coelho, fantastic run. Amazing incidents going on there. Well, Bruno, that was a very exciting 5 minutes. At one point, you must have felt you'd lost it.
Yeah, I was already getting the second place, so I'm struggling with the car a little bit on the rear, and especially on that part before the quad. That is very important to get the speed to jump. The quad is much faster than me on that part of the track. I tried, to make the jump. I open a little bit too much there, and it just put it inside. I will do the same. So, luckily for me, it did a mistake after. So it's part of the game. Game's still open. I still can win. So I will do everything in third final.
Is there anything you can do with the car to sort the rear end in this late stage?
Yeah, there is for sure something to do, but I don't know if I will take the risk. We changed already a lot on the qualifiers and everything, and now for the finals, I think I will keep just the same car, as I know already it works. So no, just take care a little bit more on that part.
Bruno in the orange, the red and blue of Dakota. No way, and it's a clean start. Again, it's got the 1, 2, and 3 Orlowski's in there at the back as well, but the 1 and 2 gapping straight away, and Bruno sets down an early pace. He has been able to be slightly quicker in the first lap than normally, and then what happens is I think that the Dakota says, I've got to run clean first lap, I've got to run clean, and then he settled into it. This time he's already putting pressure on. Now he knows where he's fast, and that was coming into that corner, the J Concepts quad. There aren't a lot of obvious non-mistake driven overtaking places elsewhere. For example, the drivers that can drive sharp into the end of the straight hasn't been a great place. Saying that, will he try it now? Nope, and the lap 1's done. And once again, it's the Bruno and Dakota show. Lap 1 down, so 40 seconds to go. And we've got probably another 9 of these as they trace round before they go away and up and over that double, which they come back on themselves into the diff check double. And this is the area where Bruno is weak, in his own opinion, where Dakota is strong. But Bruno has done the perfect line through there, sat the car into the middle of the track, and Fend couldn't get past. So Fend now has to, interesting that basically Bruno has to fend off. And it was a better drive out of the Cone of Doom straight for Bruno, but instantaneously those landings, those speedier landings and driving on, puts Fend back on the tail of Bruno. Coelho, 2015 world champion in this class. Dakota, known for being incredibly quick in America, but also the man who often breaks his car. Won a number of national titles, always been there and thereabouts, but this is the big one that has so far eluded him, and he is all over the tail. It's pretty obvious that Bruno's holding them both up slightly, because Orlowski's beginning to close the gap as Fend looks down the main straight, up and over the start of the AFA sector. He looked very tight there as he came in the in and the out, the doubles of the Ascension 3. Oh, he's rolled! Oh, and Fend has rolled! Wow, now he's got to work his way through the field. Can he do it? He's got Ronefalk ahead of him. He's got Orlowski ahead of him. Now, don't forget that Bruno has to stay clean, because if Bruno doesn't win, he doesn't win. Fend already going warp factor 42 to get up the back of Ronefalk, but he has to overtake Ronefalk first. So we're looking at Fend is the focus at the moment. See if he can get back and through. We obviously need to keep a kind of a wider view on what's going on elsewhere, but Fend now is 2 cars back. That orange car is Bruno Coelho. We are just halfway through But sometimes at the roll that time, a lap ago at the resin corner, is it going to cause a problem for Fenn unless he can get past these two cars? Orlowski in second. Ronefalk finally getting a decent run off of two terrible runs, 2 ninths in the first 2 heats. But he has no reason to let Fenn through. He's none of this lapping. There's no blue flags needing to the final. Fenn now has to get past 2 cars and get to Bruno, or hope that Bruno makes a mistake and doesn't win. At the moment, Coelho, the hometown boy, the Portuguese, the X-Ray driver, the double world champion. He's won a world championship last year in touring car in South Africa. Will he win one at his home track or his manufacturer's home track this time? Now, Fenn, really, he's got an issue because Ronefalk was quick but just couldn't get a run. Now, Fenn has to try and get past Ronefalk. He's got 1:54 to do it. Oh, and that's helped him. Orlowski's made a mistake. So Orlowski's made a mistake. That is going to be very helpful. So just one piece of traffic to get past now. And that piece of traffic is world champion of 2016 in Nitro Buggy, David Ronefalk. But to get past, he then has to then catch up. The gap between the two of them is 2.1 seconds. He's got 1 minute and a half. And if he doesn't clear Ronefalk in the next couple of laps, it's all going to be for Nout. The last lap round, in fact, they were both quicker than Bruno. There's Bruno, as you can see, going over that quad. Bruno still is probably... Oh, and he's got through. Fenn's got through. Right, again on that quad. So it's now Fenn against Bruno. But Fenn is going to have to go faster than he's ever gone before. He does have the fastest lap of the event. He's nothing to lose because he can't finish lower than second. He's got to send it for the next couple of laps. 1:06 to go. There will be 2 laps to go. It's going to be just over the 5 as we thought. Normally, if he's got 2 laps to do this, he's going to have to absolutely send every corner. This is the red and the blue machine, the American, Dakota Fenn with the TLR. He has got about 52 seconds, probably just under a minute of actual driving to catch up to Bruno and pass him. Up and over the... Oh, he's had a double-double. He did get a great drive off the quad, but he's managed not to lose time, which is impressive because he didn't take the right way. Now, there you can see Bruno. Bruno last time around had a lead of 1.5 seconds. Coelho only has to keep it on the island straight for 1 more lap. It's 1 lap to go. Oh, and Fenn's gone. Fenn's gone. But it's going Bruno, because Bruno now has a victory lap unless he rolls it. If Bruno does not roll this car, he will be the world champion for the 3rd time. Bruno Coelho will get redemption for a terrible set of finals within the 2-wheel drive. He will win at the Huddy Arena. Huddy will find an X-Ray coming home and taking the trophy at their home track, and fully deserved. This has been a fantastic World Championship organised by a fantastic company. They've put on a marvellous performance, and let's come out, and Bruno's going to cross the line minute. Bruno Coelho, 3 times World Champion. Coelho takes it. It is a fantastic victory for Coelho. He is your World Champion for 2019. Great, fantastic moment there. Bruno, so many congratulations. A fabulous run. World Champion, 3 of them. Marvellous.
Yeah, it was a very hard final. In the beginning, I know Dakota was faster than me. It was very difficult to defend, to keep him on the back, but luckily for me, he did a mistake that gave me a little bit space to breathe. Honestly, I think I did more mistakes after his mistake than before. Yeah, but I think it's a well-deserved win for all our work until now, and all qualified and everything.
So the overall result for the 4-wheel drive A finals, it's Bruno Coelho with 2 wins who takes the overall World Championship, his 3rd World Championship. Dakota Fenn must be disappointed after those couple of mistakes in the final, took him out and he finishes 2nd. Michael Orlowski finishes 3rd for Poland and for Schumacher, great result. Daniel Kovic 4th, Ty Tessman 5th, Marco Barofalo 6th, Ronefalk with a good final run gets up to 7th. Yasushi Segura from Japan is 8th, and then Mayfield and Rivkin just didn't have 4-wheel drive finals to remember, bringing up the rear in 9th and 10th.